Alright, this is John Hanson back again to talk about NXT power programming and the utilities that are available that are described in this book that are part of the BRICS Command Center. Also available on Mac OS and Linux platforms. We started off talking about how to install the compiler and use it on Linux. We're going to keep talking about that in this video as well. Alright, so now we're going to look at some of my other utilities really quickly. Pretty much all of them can be built using this tools Unix 64.makefile. Tools Unix 64.mak. If you're using a 32-bit Ubuntu, then you'd use tools Unix.make. But for 64-bit, we're going to use tools Unix 64.make. This can build several different utilities depending on which thing you tell it to make on the command line. This is dependent on Pascal script. Some of the utilities are, not very many, but at least one is. And the important thing is it has the architecture set as well as this FPC target set and this widget set all correctly configured for your system. And also, if you installed 1.0.10 instead of 1.0.8, and you will need to edit this makefile and change the path to the folder where it installed your Lazarus, which almost certainly will be user share Lazarus 1.0.10 instead of 1.0.8. So keep that in mind. But GTK2 probably is what you want to use. Everything else should be set correctly. And then the fact that we've already built Pascal script is very important as well. And if you installed it to somewhere other than your desktop, then you'll have to change this PS root option as well. Okay? And then everything else, I believe, is correctly configured. I just recently checked in some fixes to this, so I think we'll be good to go. But you can see there's several different utilities here listed. There's the MIDI batch, the Next Explorer, Next Screen, NXT Diagnose, NXT Direct, NXT Joy, NXT Message, NXT Piano, NXT Remote, NXT Watch, Wave to RSO, NXT Tools, NXT CC, BRICS CC. Okay, just do not try and build that. It won't build successfully. Keep that in mind. And then Wave RSO CBT. This is a command line utility. Okay? So let's try and build some of these things. -F Tools Unix 64.mak. We'll say we first want to do a real clean. And then we want to start with Wave to RSO. So it's linking now, no errors on the compile, and by default it moves all of the things that it builds into a folder called x64. So file /x64 wave to RSO, an ELF 64-bit LSB, and then we try and run it. Again, this requires the GTK2 library, so I think this should be installed by default with your Ubuntu distribution. If not, you will need to install those GTK2 libraries in order for this to work. But this lets you convert WAV files in a batch mode. You select the files you want to convert, and it will list those files, and you set the options that you want to use for the conversion, tell it whether to compress the RSO, and click OK. So this, you should know, will work successfully with the EV3 sound files as well. The only thing is that with the EV3, sound files have an RSF file extension, but otherwise they are identical to NXT RSO files. So you can use the Wave to RSO and the Wave RSO CBT command line utility, and the resulting files will work fine on an EV3 once you get that. So that worked. What else can we build? So let's try one of the other utilities we were looking at. Let's scroll up, have a quick look. So we've got MIDI batch, we've got next explorer, next screen. Let's try and build some of those. So MIDI batch, if you want to create NXT melody files, those are not supported on the EV3, but if you want to create some for your NXT, then you can build this with your free Pascal compiler and your Lazarus installed on Ubuntu, MIDI batch, and a little bit of a GUI issue that I need to repair. I can't even read that, but in any case, this would be a way to convert MIDI files in a batch mode. If you want to do it one at a time, there's a slightly better utility to use that we'll look at in just a second.